All right, I was thinking about the notion of immersion. It's kind of an interesting type of phenomenon. You can think of examples of this being like things like those hippie communes or Jonestown. Really shocking example in the case of Jonestown. But you could also think of it in terms of like gaming. Probably a good example, right? Where you sit down at a game and you look up 5 hours later and like, oh, how did that happen? How did I not come up for air sooner? Like I got so immersed in this world. You can think of it in terms of like emotions, really intense emotions that we feel, things like love or sadness, hatred, attraction, whatever. You can think of terms of things like drinking or drugs. Psychotic breaks probably would be in that category as well. Basically, a way people get away from reality, or maybe isolate and immerse themselves in like a smaller reality, a reality within a reality, or a world within a world of sorts. How does it happen? I think you could almost apply an equation to this type of thing. So you would have something like time, which in this scenario would just represent kind of distance of a sort, plus intensity of experience equals the level of immersion slash isolation. And whether or not this exists in an objective sense, you can maybe argue, maybe not, but in a functional sense, it kind of does. At least with regards to human experience, it certainly does. Maybe a good example is okay. So you go to summer camp. For the record, I've never been to summer camp, so I'm, you know, abstracting here, I guess. But to be fair, I would have probably had corollary experiences. So you go to summer camp for an extended period of time, but this is also a very different environment, a very intense, charged environment where you're being bombarded by different people, different stimuli. So that time plus the intensity of the experience and the new environment can make people do really weird stuff in that scenario. They get into weird fads or strange ideas about what things should be or how things should be. I imagine something similar could maybe exist even with regards to something like college or something like that. It would maybe have its own like subculture or stuff like that. As to whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I imagine it can be a good thing, but whether or not it's a good thing, at some point it feels like it's not sustainable. At some point you have to come back down to reality. Reality exists whether or not you like it. The problems that exist, they exist whether or not you like them. And particularly with regards to drugs or stuff like that, the neglect of the greater sum total of all that is, or if there is a sum total, the neglect of that will lead to negative effects in your own life, right? You have to deal with reality as it is and as it comes to you. Deal with life as it comes to you, I guess. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please press the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to. P.S. Hopefully coming out with another short story this next week. Ish. Maybe. Bye.